Good morning and thank you for joining us on the Monday edition of TVC Breakfast. I'm Veronica Daboy. Joining me this morning is Kemi Adeyemo.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Loving this splash of colors.
Just like you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, a new week has begun and it's starting off on an interesting note. There's been so much conversation around the Rivers local government election, right, but that's on the papers. For what we'll be speaking about this morning, we'll be looking at the matter of creating job opportunities in our economy. There's been so much about no jobs here and there, but how can you create one for yourself? And then we're also going to look at the matter of security, where the president has said that terrorists should give up their arms, submit themselves, or face the full wrath of the military's intervention towards them. So that's part of what we'll be looking at this morning. But first, let's begin with the story where Nigeria has taken a significant step towards economic stability by starting to sell crude oil and refined petroleum products in Naira. This decision, approved by the Federal Executive Council, began on the 1st of October. The Nigeria National Petroleum Company is supplying around 385,000 barrels per day to the Dangote refinery with payments made in Naira. Minister of Finance Wale Edun stated that this initiative will promote economic growth, stability, and self-sufficiency, especially as Nigeria deals with global market complexities. The partnership with Dangote refinery, valued at over $20 billion, is expected to transform Nigeria's oil and gas industry. Absolutely. And that's what Nigerians are looking forward to. What a majority of Nigerians just want: a system that works such that whenever they drive into a filling station, they get crude oil at an affordable rate, and also that the attendant implication reflects on the prices of goods and services, because we know whenever the prices of crude oil goes high, increases, that affects the cost of every other thing. So the bottom line is to see how this will ensure energy security, how this will ensure stability of the economy, and how this will ensure that it is accessible and affordable for an average Nigerian, and that there is an end to the matter of fuel scarcity on the long run.
Indeed, it's a significant step, though not many details are available now. Stakeholders are also urging the government to be more forthcoming. Dangote, some of the feedback I got from Dangote's response to the government's announcement of the start of crude oil sales in Naira had been that it's still, work in progress, and encouraged, expressed optimism that, this week will bring in more announcements to that effect. Though the government says these sales have since taken off since October the 1st, but and has promised that this week we are also going to get more traction on the matter. But, key information is very vital at this point. We also understand that the government has said, or stakeholders, experts have said, this is a primarily dollar-based business. And so for the government to say it's going to be selling crude in Naira, it's a significant step. We hear that it's also going to last for about 6 months for the first phase, that is. So we wait and see how it would all, end. But everyone is hopeful that it's going to be the start of more progress in the oil and gas industry, especially the downstream. We also read in the papers this morning that 3 more refineries are also going to start, take advantage of Nigerians who are not in Lagos, who live outside Lagos. How is that going to translate, like you have said, to having having fuel available just when you need it, and at an affordable cost? These are the 2 primary concerns for Nigerians, from this sector. So we hope that more and more refineries, you don't even have to be a big one, because we know it's a very, very highly funded sector, but at least more refineries will also tap into this opportunity.
And the matter of funding is also a concern for some persons who have said that the scheme looks brilliant on paper, but in reality, the chronic financial and operational challenges in the domestic refineries that often force a chunk of the 445,000 billion barrels per day to be allocated to a complex oil for product swap between NNPC and trading companies arrangement. So this arrangement, there are concerns about the funding, bottom line, and transparency of the whole scheme. Because of, recall that there has been some issues on the ground before Dangote took off, and now this was also, I think, part of the conversation, and here we are right now. Let's see how this will also be handled at the end of the day, such that every Nigerian understands the process being put in place by government. You said very sketchy information on the ground right now, but it's important that we all understand this effort that government is trying to put up, and that Nigerians can be on board so they can give whichever support they can, but then transparency of the process is key. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll leave the conversation here now and quickly bring you the news update. A 41-year-old Canadian has been arrested by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport for importing large consignment of Canadian loud. The suspect was arrested during the inward clearance of passengers on KLM airline flight from Canada. During a joint examination of her 3 bags, 74 parcels of the illicit substance weighing 35.2 kilograms were found in her luggage. In her statement, she claimed she was recruited to traffic the consignment through an online platform for 10,000 Canadian dollars upon successful delivery in Lagos. NDLEA operatives at the Port Harcourt Port near Rivers State also intercepted 30,298,000 pills of opioids, as well as 338,253 bottles of codeine. Similarly, NDLEA operatives at the Tinkan Seaport in Lagos intercepted 100 parcels of Canadian loud weighing 50 kilograms. Now, experts have emphasized the need for a deliberate effort to secure the future of the aviation profession by training young talents. This came to the fore at the 8th Explore Aviation Career Conference. Senior reporter Ayomide Ajayigbe has details.
The Explore Aviation Career Conference is targeted at young people who dream of pursuing a career in the aviation sector. The convener of the conference, in her opening remarks, says for the industry to meet the impending manpower gaps, young talent must be encouraged and prepared for the future.
Is today. We need to start taking proactive steps to build capacity in the aviation industry, starting with platforms such as this, where future professionals can have access to information that will influence their career choice. It involves investment in workforce development, adoption of advanced technology, regulatory and policy framework. By adopting these proactive strategies, the aviation industry can position itself to meet future challenges and opportunities head-on, fostering growth, innovation, and sustainability.
Professionals in the aviation space spells the rudiment of the business, especially the not so often known career opportunities, and challenge them to explore.
A lot of opportunities that exist. If you can't be a pilot, if you can't be a cabin crew, you can be a flight dispatcher, you can be a planner, you can be the one that plans how flights takes off and comes down. You can be the one that is promoting digital marketing for the airline. There's so many skills that you can hone.
No single flight that should take off without a flight dispatcher authorizing, initiating the continuation, the start of the flight, and so you sign based on weather systems. You look at the weather, you look at the fueling, you look at the passenger weights, everything. There's so many things to consider. When you're done, you draw a flight plan. You submit, give your pilot where he should go. Then you give a copy to the pilot, and your name is at the end of it, saying, I, Victoria, confirm that this flight is safe to go.
But There are many other things to do. There's air traffic controllers. They are behind the scenes. Nobody knows much about them except when you're in the industry. And they are also very well paying jobs.
Ayomide Ajay with TVC News, Lagos.
A foundation has created an inclusive space for children, especially those with